Disney can't seem to have a normal one. Between Rachel Zegler single-handedly destroying their Snow White remake, Harvey Weinstein's assistant probably putting Star Wars into the grave, and now we have Anthony Mackie, who decided to lay out some really bizarre comments about Captain America and what the character represents, only to backtrack just a few hours later.
'Cause I've been living life right like I could just die any minute. Going for a ride down the side.
Hi everyone, my name is Jacob Berry. Welcome to the StudioJake vidcast where I talk about all things pop culture. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and if you're watching on YouTube, ring the little bells to get notifications when I post new vidcasts, and consider becoming a channel member. So like I said, Marvel and Disney can't seem to have a normal one these days because every step they take in order to promote something gets undercut by some sort of controversy, whether it be something their stars say, whether it be a bad trailer, or a poster that sparks discussion. And now it seems that Anthony Mackie, who is the star of Captain America Brave New World, originally titled New World Order, he decided to open his big mouth and talk about what Captain America means. And unfortunately, he didn't just say Captain America stands for American ideals. Oh, no. He decided to deconstruct it. This is according to Fandom Pulse. Actor Anthony Mackie, who plays Sam Wilson in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, recently shared his opinion that America should not be one of the representations of Captain America. A clip from a recent appearance promoting Captain America Brave New World was shared to Instagram by the Redhead Diaries. In the clip, Mackie said, "For me, Captain America represents a lot of different things, and I don't think the term America should be one of those representations. It's about a man who keeps his word, who has honor, dignity, and integrity, someone who is trustworthy and dependable," he added. Mackie continued, "This kind of an aspect of a dream coming true. All of us actors, I believe, want to get back to that day before someone told you, no, when you look out your door and you see a 5-year-old kid with a stick and he's slaying dragons to save the princess in a tower, that kid really believes there's dragons out there. That stick is really a sword and he's really trying to save that princess. And one day somebody told him, no, there are no dragons. That's not a sword. And that princess is not there." And all of his little dreams were dashed. So as an actor, I feel like our job is to get back to that day where we see that dragon and we slay that dragon to save the princess. And that's kind of what the movie was for me, he concluded. So then he talks about a history of Captain America Brave New World. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit and continue on from this point. It is unlikely Mackie's comments will help the film's box office grosses that are already in decline. Sean Robbins at Box Office Theory already lowered its expectations for the film. He originally predicted the film would gross between 81 million and 107 million in its opening domestic weekend, with a firm prediction of 96 million. That has been lowered to a range of between 81 million and 98 million, with a firm prediction of 90 million. That's not the whole article. I want you to go to fandompulse.com. It's a Substack with all kinds of pop culture news, and read the rest of the article. It is very detailed in the events leading up to Brave New World and has a whole lot of coverage of that. So definitely head on over to fandompulse.com. Okay, yeah, this movie was already in a ton of trouble. And Anthony Mackie opening his big mouth talking about Captain America. What's so sad about this is Marvel and DC and other comic book companies, it's not just the big two, they just seem set on replacing white characters with black characters or Asian or Hispanic characters instead of trying to create original ones. So, for instance, Sam Wilson, he was introduced as the Falcon in both the comic books and the MCU. But with Chris Evans' contract up, instead of trying to pass the shield on to Bucky Barnes, Steve Rogers' best friend, they passed it on to Falcon. And then the TV show Falcon and the Winter Soldier only set up Falcon for failure. It made him where he wanted to be buddy-buddy with some terrorist and say, don't call her a terrorist, even though she murders people, innocent people in the show. And then he has that famous "do better, Senator" speech, and it was just ridiculous. And even in the trailers for this new movie, nothing besides his wings are really his own. He has Captain America's shield, he has Black Panther's, pulse powers from the vibranium. He has this tech from Wakanda. It's all sort of a mismatch. He can't be his own man in this movie. And that's a shame because I actually was originally excited when the comic books were going to make Sam Wilson Captain America. A lot of people had a run at it. Hawkeye posed as Captain America for a while, and Norman Osborn was the original Iron Patriot. And of course, Bucky stepped down from being the Winter Soldier for a while and was Captain America. And even the Punisher had a stint as Captain America, although the Avengers quickly took the identity from him. He didn't have the shield, I think. He just kind of spray painted his armor to look like Captain America, but the Avengers quickly put a stop to that. Anyway, I thought it was a good idea. The problem is they put this writer in the Avengers series who just wanted to pander to an audience that wasn't actually there, and it really ruined that vibe for me. And so now I'm kind of like, Captain America either needs to be Steve Rogers or Bucky Barnes. That has become a hard line for me thanks to Marvel's crappy writing. So Anthony Mackie got a lot of pushback from this. I actually posted on X that all he had to say was Captain America represents life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those are the American ideals that he personified. If he had just said that, of course, these Hollywood narcissists, they can't just say the thing, right? They have to just blab on. But if he had just said that, I believe Captain America represents these values, the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. He personifies those in the shield. I actually think that not only would he had been more respected, but he might have actually won more people over as the identity of Captain America, but no, he has to blab. Well, with all the backlash, he decided to backtrack, which kind of surprised me, but in hindsight, I'm glad he did. So, this is what he said on social media. Let me be clear about this. I'm a proud American, and taking on the shield of a hero like Cap is the honor of a lifetime. I have the utmost respect for those who serve and have served our country. Cap has universal characteristics that people all over the world can relate to. Yeah, he could have just said that. But to say that Captain America doesn't represent America or American ideals, that's ludicrous. What's worse is this could not have come at a worse time. The movie Brave New World, it's already kind of coming apart at the seams, and that will hurt it. People were already not interested in this movie. It's kind of become where superhero movies would have this big box office open thanks to movies like Batman Begins, Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man. They would always have these huge openings, but then somewhere along the way after Avengers Endgame, they started to taper off. And there's been some resurgent ones here or there. Venom The Last Dance, it had a sort of weak opening, but then the second week it had a good showing. Same with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Spider-Man No Way Home. It instantly became this huge hit. Some people are saying Spider-Man No Way Home gets worse every time you watch it. Those people are crazy. It's just because of the effect that current era MCU is having on people, but the show is staying power. I'm not saying it's going to become a classic one day, but it is a fantastic film that truly brings together the Spider-Man film mythos. Way better than anything Sony's been doing the past few years. So all that to say, Anthony Mackie, all he had to say was Captain America represents life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Those three things that have echoed throughout American history and in American culture our whole lives. It represents people from every sort of culture, society, religious background, socioeconomic status. It doesn't matter. Those three ideals are uniquely American, and they come with being an American citizen. Again, no matter what culture you come from. And Marvel had a chance to sort of lean into that patriotism like they did with Captain America, the First Avenger, like they did with Captain America, Winter Soldier, and even to some extent, Captain America, Civil War. They leaned into that positivity that America can still do good, but now they've flipped it around and they want to lecture the audience. Now, supposedly, Captain America Brave New World has removed a lot of the lectures in the movie, and they're kind of just made it like a generic action film. That's at least the rumblings I'm hearing. But I honestly think it would behoove them to just recast Steve Rogers, maybe have Old Man Steve, because we don't really know his status. I think one Marvel writer did say that he had passed away, but Others have said, well, no, they've actually not ever confirmed it as far as I know. Maybe have this thing where he gets rejuvenated somehow and they just recast a different actor and bring him back. Marvel desperately needs to course correct, and they're trying hard. In a recent featurette, Anthony Mackie stresses this is old school MCU. This is old school MCU. I'll believe it when I see it. I do plan on seeing Captain America Brave New World. I want to review it and I want to like it. My hopes are just very, very, very low. If you liked that video, be sure to give it a like, share it out to all your friends, leave me a comment, tell what you think, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, ring that little bell so you get notifications when I post a new vidcast, and consider becoming a channel member. If you would be so kind, head on over to my website, StudioJakeMedia.com, where I have all kinds of reviews, news, commentary on pop culture topics of our day, including anime, film, television, comic books, and so much more. Best of all, it's totally free. You just sign up with your email address or on the WordPress app, and there are no ads. If you want to support the work that I do, head on over to my locals community. The link is in the description of the video. It's where I post exclusive articles just for my locals community, and I also publish my short stories there. You can sign up through a monthly subscription or send my articles there tips. Speaking of stories, I have 4 books released. I've got Cacophony, a supernatural thriller about angels battling demons in a small town in Texas. I've got my Sword and Sorcery trilogy, The Seven Royals. I've got All Good Things. I've got Breaking the Stars, and book 3 is on its way. It's about a group of your favorite fairy tale characters who have to come together to stop a dark army from conquering their lands. You are not going to want to miss it. Last but not least, I have Blessed Child. It is a fantasy romance novella that follows an elf princess who discovers she is pregnant with a human child, and this sends her elven kingdom into chaos. Her father, the king of the elves, hires a disgraced knight who is on the path of redemption to be her bodyguard, and the two form an unlikely friendship. You're not going to miss it. It's about courage under fire, and it has life-affirming themes. So definitely pick this one or all 4 up at Amazon.com. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.